Hey guys, it's Ryan Steinelson. It's 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and I'm going live for DIY AI. You can reach me on all the socials. I'm going live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. And you can go to our website at diyai.ai. And you can also go to our school community at skool.com/DIY AI. You can also call us at 561-861-3238. What are we here to do? We're here to help you make heads or tails of artificial intelligence and its capabilities and what it can do and whether or not you should use it for your business. And well, at what level really, I think is the way to ask yourself is, or what to ask yourself is what level of AI do you want? And how much support do you want in your business? Because that's really what it's all about is okay, you've got a business, and do you want to leverage artificial intelligence to help you get all the things done that right now are being done by humans, so that you can have a more efficient business, one that gets more done, makes more profit, and allows you to have more time and more freedom. And so, what I'm here to do is to go over at least 3 topics every week and answer questions live from anybody that joins me live. You can either ask a question, or you can either wherever you're watching the video, on the recording or live, below the video, you can post a comment. I see them here and I'll answer them, or you can join live. I'll post a link down below so that you got below wherever you're watching the video, so that you can join me. So that I just did that. So if you have any questions, click on that link. You can join me live. That's really what these are for, is to really go over your specific use case, your challenge that you have. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you, and by the way, I've got some background in digital marketing. I've been I'm the founder of a digital marketing agency that's doing 7 figures, and it's been around for almost 20 years, so almost 2 decades. And in that process, I've learned some of the things that really move the needle for businesses. Number one of those, and this is the reason why I started down the AI path almost 3 years ago, is getting the phone to be answered by AI, so that every call gets answered, every lead gets responded to within 30 seconds. What that does is it does 2 things. Number one, it increases the conversion rate that you have. It converts more of those leads that you get into new clients, because you're able to meet them where they're at when they're actually wanting to know more about your business. And the platforms that give you leads like it when you do that. And what they do is they actually give you more leads as a result. And it also allows you to get more leads because you can now identify your business as being open 24/7. And you can take not only phone calls, but you can take message leads and get those responded to instantaneously. So let me know if you what questions you have. I'm going to go over the topics for today, and then we'll probably jump off pretty quickly. If I don't get any questions, that's usually what I'll do. But I do want to at least give you guys some of the latest topics in the AI world. So the title today was The Dead Lead ATM, How AI SMS Agents Are Resurrecting 5-year-old CRM Contacts. If you have a list of old unsold leads sitting in your CRM, you are sitting on a goldmine. Stop paying for expensive new clicks when you have free leads in your database. Today, I'm showing you how to deploy an autonomous SMS agent that reaches out, handles objections, and books cold leads directly into your calendar without lifting a finger. So the autonomous reactivation playbook, that's the topic number one. We've got 3 topics we're going to go through today. Standard SMS blasts get ignored. Deploying a 2-way AI agent to text a 500-person list individually and negotiate appointments natively inside SMS yields a 4x higher booking rate. Very, very interesting. So this is where AI really shines. Voice can be a challenge sometimes because you get the different voices that sometimes have a latency that's a little bit longer than others. And the voice doesn't sound exactly human. It pauses where it shouldn't. It speeds up where it should or it shouldn't. And so these are all challenges with the voice. But with the AI texting, you cannot tell when it's an AI. Actually, I would say that an AI agent is actually better because it has full context of not only your business, but everything else. It's PhD level in every other topic. I don't know of too many customer service people that are PhD level. I don't know too many other people that handle sales that are PhD level in sales and every other topic that business might be doing. So this is where you can leverage SMS and AI to its fullest. And so this is one of the trends. And here, let me just go in. I just wanted to here, let me go back here. So there was a link. Yeah, so there's a few different ways to do this. I mean, what you can do is you can get any one of these services, including ours, and you can input. I'll use our system as an example. You can input the names and phone numbers of all of your past clients into our system, as long as you have SMS rights to them. In other words, you have the permissions, the proper permissions to be able to send those outbound SMS text messages to those people, which most likely you do. If you've got their number and you've done business with them in the past, then most likely you've got the rights to do that. So what you can do is you can say, hey, it's Ryan from DIY AI. How you doing? Just wanted to reconnect, see how things are going, and provide this value to you. So you provide value at the onset, something that's not an ask. You give before receiving. And I've set up the same type of system within a OpenClaw setup using anti-gravity, where we're using anti-gravity in OpenClaw. Anti-gravity is like the skin, if you will, on the outside of OpenClaw in order to have better management of the OpenClaw platform and to make it safer. Although I just got hacked for almost $6,500 on my Twilio account, which is a little bit of a challenge, but I learned from that experience because just learn from me. You don't want to make a GitHub repository public that has some API keys in it. And that's one of the things that can make things, pretty challenging. So, and the AI missed some of this stuff. I call my agent Max. So Max missed some of the big no-nos that we should not have been doing, and it didn't. It did some things that compromised our some of our APIs. And so this is where you want to make sure that, I'm just trying to tell you that we're building these type of tools, and you can do the same. But with the tools that I'm talking to you about, you don't have to worry about putting your APIs at risk. You use a software that is just doing one thing and one thing only, and that's sending out a text message to all the people that you've worked with. And that's not going to jeopardize anything for you. But I'm just trying to give you an example that, you can take this as far as you want, because our system, literally what we create is a website that's a replicative website, meaning it's just created over and over and over again with the particular businesses that we scraped off the internet with all of their custom information, and then sending them an example with their information of that website, which is a beautiful website. And in other words, extending the olive branch to give them something first before there's any ask. Once you give them their website and you say, hey, here's a website that you might want to look at, we've created for you. Do you want it? Let me know when you want to hand it over. And then they just make some changes, and they see how well you work and how fast you get things done. And then before you know it, they want to hire you for everything else or anything else or something else at least. So this is the same thing, the same concept with any type of marketing. It's really important to give before getting. This goes back to like Zig Ziglar and all those guys. It's like, you know, who was the other guy that the go-getter, the go-giver was a um, a term that was phrased by Berg. I think his name was, I forget he was at our church here locally one time. Jay Berg. Anyway, the go giver, I think was what he said. In other words, you give first, and that's the principle that Zig talked about as well. Is, you know, he said you will grow to the amount that you give. You will grow to an equal amount to the amount that you give, is basically what his point was. And so this is where, you know, you can do this now at scale with artificial intelligence. And so what you could do is find out what that website is for your business. What is that website giving tool that you can give, or that thing that you can give somebody that's going to give them value before you ask for anything in return. You might want to give them like a free audit of whatever it is that you do, or something like that. So anyway, that's just my suggestion. And if you got any questions or comments, please post them. I'd love to hear, you know, what you think about that. And then I'm going to go back into this. Okay. So that's how you do that. And so what you could do is, you want to train the AI agent, obviously, with a prompt, a knowledge base, the knowledge base being, you know, maybe 3 or 4 conversations that your best intake person, your best customer service person has had over the past month. You feed that to the agent, so it has a knowledge base of your business. In addition to your website link, you would feed that into the knowledge base, and you would obviously prompt it. And you would give it all the information that you could, so that the agent is completely knowledgeable about your product, your service, what you do, so that you can reignite this list. And once somebody expresses interest or says that they want to talk to somebody, that's when you can have the AI agent actually do like a warm transfer or ping somebody on the team to make an outbound phone call. That's the way I would set it up. So, and it's very easy. You could set something like this up in a matter of minutes using our platform and any other platform. So knowledge graphs versus vectors. This is the next topic. If your bot gives like stupid answers, it's using outdated vector search. So vector databases are what we use it sounds very complicated, but a vector is not just 2D, meaning flat, it's 3-dimensional. So a database usually is X and Y. So now what we're doing is we're adding in the Z component. So it's not just, you know, on this flat surface, like there's not just a point on this flat surface. There's a point out here that's in a vector space, out in space, and not just on a flat surface. So that gives you a lot more data points, obviously. So it becomes a much bigger database that's got much more information in it as a result. And what we do is we vectorize it, meaning we create specific sections. This is how our brain works. Specific sections in the database that house different concepts. So if we wanted to get information about one topic, we would say that this vector area here is about this topic, and it's all that information to be housed there in chunks of, let's say, 256 characters is typically what they're chunked at, or where is the amount of information that's put in each one of those vectors. So, so what I was going to show you, so shifting from a knowledge graph, or shifting to a knowledge graph from these vector databases can improve the hallucinations up to like 99%. So your bot stops misquoting your prices. So there is a way to do this. And again, it's all about using a knowledge graph as opposed to what we've used to this point, which is vector databases. And then the third topic, and you can research this. It's very easy to learn more about knowledge graphs, especially with the advent of AI and large language models. I mean, you can become an expert. And I would encourage you guys to, this is one of the things that I think a lot of people don't use large language models for, is to have it teach you. You can have Gemini, Claude. By the way, if you want to learn about Claude, Claude just gave away a free course on how to learn how to use their large language models for free, absolutely free. You can actually get you get a certification, I believe. I mean, it's probably worth $100,000 to go and learn that. And you would learn like co-work and all of the most powerful tools right now, where Claude has done a really good job, because where did OpenClaw come from? It came from Claude, or from somebody that was building on Claude. And so Claude has really made it its job to do its best to make something better than OpenClaw and co-work and some of the other things that it's come out with, and the ability to be able to talk to the Claude large language model with just Telegram or Discord. It now does that. So everything that OpenClaw has done, Claude is in the process of making happen, if it hasn't already done it. So you can learn all that for free, is what I'm trying to say. And now you can have large language models like Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT. You can tell it, say, hey, I want to learn about this. And then it will actually create quizzes for you. I mean, it's amazing. You can go to Notebook LM and put the URLs for 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 different YouTube videos, and have Notebook LM create a knowledge base around those videos, just those videos. And it will basically teach you. It'll create a course, a training, a podcast for you to listen to teach you and summarize everything in that Notebook LM notebook that you create, or notebook. Yeah. So sentiment routing, this is the third topic: sentiment routing and rage quit. The rage quit. A bad bot interaction leads to 1-star review. We'll show you how to program your AI to detect anger. Sentiment routing, which I can say 11 Labs has done a really good job of identifying sentiment, and we've built a AI review system where, when your CRM or whatever system you use tags somebody, or when something specific happens, it has our AI send out a outbound phone call to that person, which obviously we would only do this once we've identified with that CRM that everything's happened, like that we've delivered on the services and everything's been completed. What we're then doing is having the AI to make an outbound phone call in order to get the sentiment of that person. And so what's great about this is, because of the fact that it's an outbound phone call and it's a voice conversation, there's really no such thing as review gating. Review gating is something where we would send out a text message or something written that would say, hey, how was your experience, good or bad? If they said bad, we would route them to a certain landing page that didn't allow them to leave a review. And if they said it was good, we would say, okay, you can leave a review. Here's the link. Well, now we can have the AI have a conversation, just have a normal conversation. What did you think of the service? Blah, blah, blah. The AI agent will then take that conversation and create a review on the fly, and then text that review to the person, letting them know ahead of time, hey, I'm going to send, great that you had that kind of experience, that you had everything solved, that we showed up on time. We only get our next client based on how we treat our current clients. Would you mind sending a review for us? If that's okay, I'll send you a text right now. If the person says yes, the AI sends the suggested review via text, so that all the person has to do is copy the text, and the AI instructs the person how to do this. You just copy the text, and then the AI sends the link, the magic link, the naked link that we like to call it, to the person to get the review. So that all the person has to do is click the review, copy the review, paste it, post it. And if it was a bad scenario with a sentiment-aware AI voice agent like 11 Labs has, then we would route it a different way, and we'd say, hey, you know what? Really bummed that you had a bad experience. And 11 Labs AI agents do this really well. They really sound empathetic. That's where the emotional awareness, that's the way they like to refer to their AI agents, really comes into play. It's amazing the emotional awareness that the AI agents have. And then what we do is we instantly transfer the frustrated customer to a live human before they blow up online. So this allows us to get to the person ahead of time and nip it in the bud with a live conversation. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think of that. Any questions, let me know. Again, I do this every week at 2 p.m. And if you jump in, I usually will take a lot longer to answer your questions. So you can go to DIYAI.ai. That's our website. You can go to our school community at school.com, skool.com/DIYAI, or you can text us at 561-861-3238. Thanks for joining today, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.